Hell of a thing. Donald Trump names Dan Bongino as deputy director of the FBI. Here it is.
It built America or something like that, and I was falling asleep because it had been a really long day. Now you know why, and some of you kind of understand why the show had a different tone over the last couple of weeks. And I got a call from the president, and he couldn't have been nicer. And I obviously keep the contents of it between us, but I think you get the gist about what it was about. And kind of broke down a bit because it was, this is now real. So President, Attorney General Bondi, and now Director, gosh, that sounds good to say, FBI Director Kash Patel offered this role I expressed an interest in. And ladies and gentlemen, I told you, you see?
Put up the picture for him, ass. If you look at Kash Patel's face here, it's exactly how he looked when Trump told him who the deputy director was going to be. Trump on Sunday evening appointed conservative firebrand Dan Bongino as the next deputy director of the FBI to serve alongside Director Kash Patel. No, he's supposed to serve under him. It's the way the deputy works, but alongside is the language we'll use. Great news, Trump says, for law enforcement and American justice. Dan Bongino, a man of incredible love and passion for our country, has just been named the next deputy director of the FBI by the man who will be the best ever director, Kash Patel. Dan has a master's degree in psychology and an MBA from Penn State. He was a member of the New York Police Department, New York's finest, a highly respected special agent with the United States Secret Service, and is now one of the most successful podcasters in the country. Something he is willing and prepared to give up in order to serve, working with our great new United States Attorney General and Director Patel. Fitness, justice, law, and order will be brought back to America, and quickly. Congratulations, Dan. So let's talk about Dan. So over the years, Dan has become infamous for promoting multiple false conspiracy theories about the novel coronavirus and the 2020 presidential election. In fact, the New York Times in November 2020 labeled Bongino as one of the 5 biggest election misinformation super spreaders after he peddled multiple lies about Trump's election defeat. Do you not know that made him top of the list for Trump's administration? The fact that he's willing to lie, and lie more in order to protect the insanity of lies perpetrated by Donald Trump. So Bongino has never served in the FBI, breaking a long-standing tradition of the role of deputy director being occupied by a career agent of the Bureau. Bongino was among that Trump loyalist group who perpetuated conspiracies regarding the 2022 search of Trump's Mar-a-Lago property for classified documents, suggesting the search was an attempt by President Joe Biden's administration to assassinate the then former president. Bongino will be one of nearly 24 former Fox News personnel in Trump's administration. A list that includes Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, your Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, and National Director of Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. Trump similarly staffed his first administration with several of the network's employees. But damn, Gabbard, the head of DNI, this idiot ahead of the FBI, Patel don't run a damn thing. Tell yourself what you want to. And how? Well, because Trump figured out he's in charge of a bunch of feckless individuals who would do exactly what he says. Dear brother, what say you?
Well, it's a circus. He's P.T. Barnum and he's getting his whole crew together. And we're only a month into the administration.
Right.
It's only been a month and 4 days since this guy was sworn in. And here we are already with these cast of characters. And unfortunately, the guardrails are off because there was a time when these people would not have been approved. Your Kash Patels, your Tulsi Gabbards, your RFK Juniors, they would not have been approved. And yet he's got the stamp of approval in the Senate and he just does what he wants. And so it's going to be dangerous these next few years because who knows what they start going after? When do they start going after the late night talk show hosts? When do they start going after you? Maybe they start going to go, who knows what they're going to do? And it's just insanity that these people are now representing this law enforcement agency that's supposed to actually be nonpartisan. And I wonder what happens when in 4 years, hopefully, if it's not a dictatorship at that point and a new administration comes in that's hopefully not a continuation of this administration, what do? Do they turn around right away and fire these guys? Because Kash Patel's, his role is supposed to be there for, I think it's like a 6-year term or so. So what's the next administration going to do to clean this up?
Yeah.
It's going to be messy and it's going to be dangerous and it's going to give us a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, that's right. And here's the thing. I hope Democrats are paying attention because the individuals that they are in political competition with are not playing the radio with them. And so if they believe they can come in and do the moderate thing, understand this is not the playground for it. If we are blessed, lucky, privileged enough to keep a democracy, whoever inherits this new nation has to do what is required and clean house of these individuals who are currently being appointed in positions they should have absolutely no business in.